Hi everybody, I'm super excited about this video because this time we are crafting together. That means I'll be talking you through every step in detail, from the materials I use to the tiniest finishing touches, so you can follow along and create your own super realistic miniature. My tiny painting scene will be inside of a frame, but if you'd rather set up a miniature art corner in your existing dollhouse, you can totally customize it to fit your space. I tried to use ordinary materials and most of them you should already have at home. I'll be using a simple picture frame. In goes some watercolor paper and a brown sheet of cardboard as a table. I have a bunch of different papers. A small piece of veneer that's super thin wood, and sometimes you find it as the packaging of fancy cheese or as a berry bowl. If you don't find any of that, you can simply print some wood structure. I'll be using some plaster, but wood filler or air dry clay will be just as good. Preferably some full polyester cord. If you don't have that, you can also use wool, but it will make your paintbrushes a little fluffy. We'll be using a pin. Don't take your favorite because we're going to break it. Next thing, we'll need a cotton bud, which is made from paper in the middle. A roll of black thread. A few paper clips, those with the plastic coating are best. We'll also break them, so don't use your favorite ones. Clear sellotape, masking tape, and lastly we need some thin metal. Tin foil is too thin, but you can use yogurt lids or a wine bottle cap if you have one. Now onto the materials. We'll need acrylic paints and everything that comes with such. A silver marker, a fine liner, a pencil, a skewer, a ruler, wood glue, a pin, a craft knife with one old and one brand new blade, your favorite tweezers or some flat pliers, not your favorite scissors, they don't need to be super sharp either, and last, a wire cutter. Let's start with making a paint tube. In the first step we want to smooth out the yogurt lid. For this we use our scissors and cut away this crumpled edge, we don't need it. Next we take something smooth and flat, in my case it's a folded paper, and smooth out all the creases in the aluminium. You can use whatever tool suits you best. This is what we are aiming for. With the pin we are marking the first straight line. We'll cut it by scissors. With the next cut we are creating a strip that's 1.5 centimeters wide. To make our paint tubes from this we need something of about 3 to 4 millimeters to wrap it around. Since I don't have anything like that, I am using a skewer and I am wrapping a little bit of masking tape around it to create my desired width. Then carefully wrap it around about 1.5 times and cut off the excess. By twisting it a few more times you can tighten the wrap. Then you can slide off the little roll. Please be careful with it, because it's very fragile and we want it to keep its shape. Grab your tweezers or pliers and let the start of the roll face your way. Take something like the last millimeter of your future paint tube and give it a firm squeeze. Then fold it once towards you and the open side of the roll. This will later be the back side of the paint tube. Repeat these steps for making as many paint tubes as you wish. I made 10 small ones and 2 slightly larger ones for black and white. For closing the front I am using plaster, but as I mentioned you can also use air dry clay or repair putty. Just scoop up a little bit and carefully close the front, making sure there are no air gaps. Once you've done all of them, put them aside and we will continue with something else while they dry. Making a tiny cloth for our tiny painter is utterly simple. Just take one layer of your kitchen paper, cut it to size and fold it as you wish. Dipping it in your paint water helps it to stay folded. Now let's make labels for our paint tubes. Take your acrylic paints and make very thin stripes on the edge of your printer paper. When cleaning your paintbrush, make use of your tiny little cloth and it will soon look like a real one. Once the paint is dry, grab your fine liner and add a little logo. I'm just doing some sort of M because it's a miniature. Then with a super sharp pencil I'm adding some description. All that's left to do is to cut them out. They are about 4 millimeters in height and 5 millimeters in width. Now let's start making the paintbrushes. We have to undo the paper clips and cut them apart. Since I don't want to use the wiggly bits in between, each paper clip will make 3 different size paintbrushes. Now we are making little rolls as for the paint tubes, just much smaller. This time don't do 1.5 but 2 wraps. Oh, and before I forget it, I would absolutely love to see your creations, so please do share them on Instagram, link is in the description. After you made one of them, for each of your future paintbrushes we need a small piece of thread. Take the 2 ends and thread them through a little roll, one at a time. Into the loop of the thread insert your wool or cord and use the sewing thread to pull it through your little roll. Remove the sewing thread and cut off the cord. Put it aside and repeat with the other rolls. To assemble the paintbrushes, we apply a little bit of wood glue onto the loop side of the cord. Then we very carefully try to pull in the cord into the roll, only about halfway through. You must be really careful not to pull it out of the roll. And when you've achieved that, you insert the little stick from the paper clip. Then put your little paintbrushes to a safe space for drying. In the meantime, we are going back to our paint tubes. Mine are dry and ready to be continued. Get your brand new and super sharp blade ready and cut the stick of the cotton bud into small little rolls. When cutting, be careful not to squish them into an oval but to keep them nice and round. These will later be the lids for the paint tubes. With the silver colored marker we paint the end of the tube. Then we stick on the little labels. It may be easier if you give the label a little while to soak in the glue. It will make it smoother and stick easier to the round surface. In the last step we are gluing on the lids, but wait before you do all of them, because we can do a little special. Using the old blade of your craft knife you can carefully cut off a little roll of that plastic surrounding on your paper clip. If you slide it off you have a tiny little roll. This you can glue onto one of your paint tubes and it will look like an open one. I also added a thinner roll of the cotton bud in between to make it look even more realistic. Once you glued on all the lids, you are left with a set of brand new paint tubes. But that's not very realistic, so now it's time to make them look used. And honestly, this is the wonderful thing of using the metal for making the paint tubes, because you can just squeeze them and roll them as if they were real. Now we will start making the sketchbook. Cut 2 stripes of about 2 cm from your normal printer paper. Then stack them and cut them in half. Repeat the process until you are left with a small pile. Stack your pile neatly and secure it with a paper clip. On the tidiest side we will apply wood glue. This then needs to dry, so set it aside and we will continue with making the cover. I am cutting 2.1 cm of my leather textured paper. Then I am making a crease at 1.5 cm, at 1.8 and lastly cut it off at 3.3 cm. This folds into the book cover. With some further manipulations I'm making it look more realistic. On the piece of wood draw your little palette. It should be around 2.5 cm long. For cutting the wood we will use our scissors and the knife with the old blade. We don't want to destroy the brand new one. When cutting the wood you have to be really careful because it likes to break. So always try to cut away from the fiber direction of the wood. And if you're not sure, rather cut small pieces until you got the desired shape. Let's make a quick and easy glass jar for our paint water. All we need is some sellotape and a pencil. Cut off approximately 5 cm from your sellotape and also cut away the zigzag start. Stick this piece of sellotape onto your pencil, but only a very small edge of it. Then roll it into the opposite direction, such way that the sticky side points to the outside. After you've wrapped the whole piece around the pencil, try to turn it around the pencil and you will notice that the first part that you stuck onto the pencil will come off. If you've done everything correctly, it is now possible to move this little roll around on your pencil. Then add a second piece of sellotape, this time the other way around with the sticky side to the inside. It should be very easy to slide off the whole roll and it shouldn't be sticky on either side anymore. Now just cut it to the size you want. I am painting the paintbrushes so they look like they are from wood, but you can really choose whichever color you like. I mean, the paintbrush I am using is also blue. I don't think here's much to explain. I painted the needle to look like a pencil and then cut it off. When cutting it off, please be careful because the needle is very strong and it kind of gives a shock wave when you cut it off. So hold both pieces nice and firm so they don't get lost and can cause an injury. Our book should be dry by now. It's time to cut the messy sides, and don't worry if it's too thick. Just keep going, cut several times and you will get through eventually. Then you can glue it into the cover. From the sewing thread we used earlier, we will make a little rubber band to keep it closed. Then you can also make it look used. Now it's finally time to finish the paintbrushes. With your super sharp and brand new blade, you will cut the bristles of the paintbrushes to the size you want. With the pin, you can undo the twist of the cord if necessary. Then you are left with round paintbrushes. And now comes the magic for me. If you want flat paintbrushes, you simply use your tweezers and squish them a little bit and you have flat paintbrushes. I think they just look so amazing. Congratulations! You have now made a whole bunch of wonderful little art supplies which are ready to be assembled. So let's get the frame ready. For our tiny artwork we need a tiny sheet of paper and some masking tape. The masking tape is about 3 mm wide. Now grab your tiny things and enjoy setting up your painting table. Once you're happy with your layout, you can glue everything down. Then my personal favorite part starts, making a mess. So we'll be using the palette to make it most realistic. If you wish so, you can even use the paintbrushes, they really work. You can make the paint cubes and the paintbrushes messy. Usually also the water glass has some paint on its edge. You can start the painting and even make the table a little dirty. In the end I felt like there's something missing in the bottom left corner, so I made a little crumpled paper. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and it inspired you to craft along. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments. Now look at the size comparison. My usual miniatures I build at a scale of 1 to 30. For the tutorial I chose 1 to 12 because I think it's the most common scale for you. Thank you so much for watching. The next video will be an Easter special and after that we will start the next big project. See you soon!